Well, March started off fairly well. I listened to one of my first March reads almost straight away, and then I fairly quickly started listening to my next March read, which was quite long, and I think that was my mistake. Welcome back, or if you're new here, welcome. My name is Katrina and I make bookish content here on this channel every week and then movie reviews here at the weekend. In the description box below, you can find my blog and my Goodreads where I must update what I am currently reading because I read a lot in January and then forgot to update everything. So we'll be doing that. Yes, I had quite an ambitious March TBR and I started off strong and then it was just like everyone has described this term as just the term from hell. 4.5 weeks to try and get through so much stuff and have so many meetings and just do so many things before the Easter holidays and then getting really excited about the Easter holidays and just continuously being ill from February half term right the way through the term. I've had some sort of like cold throat, lack of voice, which is why you haven't seen as many videos because I've been very croaky for most of March. So that's that. I read 3 books in the month of March. The non-fiction audiobook that I wanted to read this March, given the fact that it's Women's History Month and I'm going to Disney, is Women of Walt Disney Imagineering, which is just great. I really, really enjoyed it. It was people telling their stories about being women in Imagineering, and it makes me want to watch the Imagineering story again, which is highly likely. It's just highly likely at this point. So yeah, it was good on audio as well. It wasn't like everybody was reading their own stuff. There was contributors as well, so that was cool. I enjoyed it, and I'm glad that I put it on my TBR and I was intentional about it. I have physical books for the next books that I'm going to tell you about because I listened to the audiobook of Token by Beverly Kendall, which is about Kennedy Mitchell, who she was plucked from reception for a seat at the boardroom table in the name of representation. Rather than play along, she and her best friend founded Token, a boutique PR agency that helps diversity-challenged companies and their celebrities. With famous people getting into reputation-damaging controversies, Token is in high demand and business is booming. But when her ex shows up needing help, things get even more complicated, and soon Kennedy finds herself drawn into a PR scandal of her own. So I think this book was just a little bit overhyped for me. I enjoyed it and I kind of blasted through it fairly easily, unlike the next book that we're going to talk about. But it didn't sort of stick with me. I didn't really identify with the characters straight away. Like, you know, obviously I'm not going to identify with a black woman because I am not a black woman. But being a woman in a company and being a bit of representation, I've been there. So yeah, I think I'd heard so much about it and I'd heard about how good it was. But the romance aspect of it for me just kind of fell flat. I liked hearing about her business and her being like a powerful, strong woman in business, and I liked that side of it. But the romance, I think if it hadn't been sold to me as a rom-com, I think it would have been slightly different because it was, the romance, I think, that probably fell short for me. But it's got a discussion guide at the back of this book, which I think is very good. And then one that I read that I should have started watching the TV show for, because this is my gorgeous special edition of One Day by David Nichols, because I enjoyed this book so much. I tell you what, it was lovely rereading it. I reread it before the film came out. And then the film was just awful. Less said about that, the better. But I actually ended up re-listening to the audiobook. I thought I might do a bit of a switch back and forwards. I'm going to see if I can get it out of the box now. It doesn't seem to want to come. Here we go. Oh, just check that like nothing else pops out of the box. This is quite old. But yes, 20 years, 2 people, 1 day. And there's the back. And it's even got like the ribbon bookmark. You can tell I've never actually like read this one, but I like the end pages in it. So yeah, it was good to revisit it and revisit it at a different age as well, because I was when did I read this? I was younger when I read this. I feel like I read it when it first came out, so whenever it was published, I read it then. And now reading it at nearly 40 and kind of being like, oh my God, Ellen Dexter, like, what are you doing? Why are we making these poor choices? But also, like, some of the career and personal choices that they made for themselves, I couldn't understand previously when I read it. And now I absolutely can see why they made that choice, or why they made that choice, or why they decided to go in that direction. And so it was actually really good rereading it as an adult, however many years later. We'll establish that another time. It was a long audiobook though. I don't remember the book taking me that long to read, but the audiobook took me a good 2 weeks to listen to. And I think that's the reason I only ended up reading 3 books in the month of March, because I listened to Token, and then I listened to this, and then I was done. Like, then I was like, and just, I can't focus on an audiobook on the way to work right now because I'm just thinking about work right now. So I'm going to watch the TV show, bring you my thoughts as to whether it's got the same vibe or not. It was a good reread though. So I did a non-fiction, a new book, and a reread this month. Yes, I did them all on audio, but that's okay because audiobooks are reading. And yes, I had a very ambitious TBR. I did listen to a little bit of Radio Silence, but I started listening to that in February. I picked it up again in March. Then my Hold On One Day came up, and so I listened to that. And that's the story. So Alice Oseman, still on my April TBR, because I would definitely really like to finish reading Alice Oseman because I was enjoying what I was reading so far. And that's it. That's literally it for my March wrap up. I will be back with some more videos for you very soon. So let me know what you read in the month of March in the comments below. Make sure you are subscribed and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any videos I might be posting soon. As you are watching this, I am either on my way or I am at Disney. I'm wearing a Disneyland Spirit jersey, which is confusing because I'm going to Disney World, but I've got my Mickey nails and my Mickey jewellery, my Mickey tattoo. We're ready to go and spend some time with the man himself. Yes, so there's going to be some Disney content coming your way very soon, and you're not going to want to miss out on that. But yes, thank you so much for watching. I will see you with my next video. Woo!